Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of the Solo Female podcast. And then for this episode, I'm going to be interviewing Annika. Did I pronounce it
Hey.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's cool.
So I was just telling her that, I usually prepare for the interviews like ahead of time, but with her, like, she's so much fun. And then I haven't talked, I just met her like 4 minutes ago. So I don't know. We're gonna see how this is gonna go, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fine. So thank you
Yeah,
so much, Annika, for accepting being part of the interview.
no worries. Yeah, I don't think we need a lot of preparation. We can be talking for hours and hours without running out of topics, and we'll have fun, be talking about everything about the universe, life, and yeah, it's going to be fine. We don't need preparation.
Yeah, exactly. So can you tell everyone where are you from?
So I'm from Germany. That's where I was born. That's where I grew up. But then I'm half Norwegian too. So my dad's from Germany. My mom is from Norway. I'm half. I've got blood from both countries. I speak both languages, and I consider myself from both countries. So yeah, Germany and Norway. It is.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like you got the Viking blood, I guess.
Yeah. That's why it's AJ Viking Travels because I consider myself a Viking.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. I was like, I'm just gonna throw these out there, but I might be wrong. I don't know. I don't know much about Scandinavia.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
that was right. That was right. That was spot on.
Okay. Oof. Okay. So and so it's like, what are you right now? I see all your stories, but it's like I don't know, where are you? Like, I don't know. I need to figure you out.
Yeah, I'm a bit everywhere. So at the moment, I'm out in Australia. I'm out in a forest in Australia. I'm sitting in my van. Like, this is the back doors of my van. This is my couch. This is where I'm sitting. This is where I'm living. I've built this couch by myself. Like, she's still in progress. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm like converting this little car or this little van into a camper van so that I can live here, not permanently, but for a really long time, like 1.5 years more, almost 2 years more if I can, if I get the visa. So yeah, out in Australia I am. The borders are still closed, so I'm not roaming around too much. I'm mostly staying in one spot and just checking out some camps in the area. I found some friends over here, so that's really cool as well. But yeah, Australia, and then eventually when things are open up again, I'm planning to go all around the country. Like, it's a whole continent. It's not just a country, so it's going to take a really long time. But that's what I'm like planning, visualizing on doing, and going up the east coast and then doing all the north and then the west coast and then like coming all the way back so that I can cover all of the country inside of this car. And that would be awesome.
Wow. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. How did you get into traveling? So, like, where have you been?
um i it's a funny story because all from the beginning I wasn't really planning on traveling in the first place. Like, it wasn't like my dream from when I was a kid that I want to be traveling. My parents are not really huge travelers. It's never really been a thing. Everything in my life, it's just happened. I just always follow my gut feeling. So this is how it came to be. I finished high school and I had no idea what to do with my life. Like what to do. I don't know what I like. I don't know what job I would like to do. I don't have any like super big passions. I don't know what I want to do for the next like 40 or 50 years. And I don't want to start studying something and then in the end realizing that I don't like it and then just stop studying that. So I heard from two different resources that I could go to Australia on a working holiday visa and do some traveling. And I was like, oh, that actually sounds really exciting. So I looked into it and I decided for myself, yeah, I'll go for 9 months to Australia. And in those 9 months, I'm going to do a lot of different jobs in Australia. I'll meet a lot of people, do some traveling, the usual find yourself journey.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I did. But shortly after, I think it was just like 1 or 2 months into my travels that I was calling my mom and I was like, Mom, I'm not coming home after 9 months. I'm canceling the flight and like I'm extending to stay the whole year in Australia. I don't want to come back and study something. I want to keep doing this. This is amazing. So yeah, I kept traveling and I met so many people, and all of these people, they told me about their travels. And every time when someone told me about their travels, I was just like, whoa, I want to do this too. That's so cool. Like, all these countries and all these experiences. It just pulled me more and more into this travel lifestyle. So I remember exactly who it was. It was this Danish guy, and I met him on an apple farm in Australia, and we were chatting, and like my eyes were almost falling out of my skull because I was just like looking at him, and I was glued to his stories of how he was traveling in India, and I was like, yeah, man, yeah, India it is, Asia it is, fuck yeah. Mom, I'm not coming home after Australia. I'm going to Asia. So I canceled that flight, and I was like, no way I'm going home. I have to see all of this. So that's it just happened. Like, I heard stories, I wanted to go. I just followed whatever sounded the fucking best. And then I started jumping from country to country. Like, I saved up money in Australia by working. I did volunteering over in Asia to stay on the road for as long as possible. And I jumped to all these different countries, never being able to stop. It's like an addiction. The more I saw, the more I wanted to see, and the more people I met, the more I was adding to my bucket list. So that's how it all happened. And ever since then, now 4 years later, I'm still traveling. I still can't stop. So that's how it started, and that's how it's never going to end.
Wow, 4 years? That's amazing.
Yeah. I was at home one time in the meantime, like in between, to visit my family and my friends. But after that, I was like, bye, I've got things to do.
Yeah, I like, how did your mom take it, or how did your family take it?
Yeah, I think compared to probably a lot of others, they're actually quite cool with it. Like, it's not a big thing within my family to do these kinds of full-time travels either. So it's kind of a new thing. It's kind of like breaking out of that system as well for them. But yeah, like they've got pretty used to it. Like, they know that if I come back home, it's not going to be to settle. They know, and they're fine with it. Of course, like, I miss them, they miss me. It's always amazing when I come back. It's the best feeling in the world. But then in the end of the day, they know I'm leaving. I know I have to leave. I know it's the best, and they like, it's accepted, and yeah, it's fine.
Okay. And how long have you been living in the van?
In this van, let me say, like a month. Yeah, it hasn't been for too long. I bought this car like 2 months ago, but that time I was still living in a tent. And then I started buying a mattress and building that bed. And then like 1 month ago was when I moved into my van and started driving around. Yeah.
How has it been? How do you feel about that?
It's kind of, it's weird. It's exciting, but it's also weird because yesterday I was visiting someone in his house, and I was looking around myself, and like, there were walls and like a proper roof and like a kitchen and a bathroom. I'm like, whoa, like this feels so strange being in a house already, even though I haven't been living in a camp or like not living in a house for so long. Like, it hasn't been like 1 or 2 years yet, but still, I've got used to this so much, and I love every single thing about it, because I'm like in the forest all the time. I love being in nature. It's the best. I don't ever want to be living somewhere else than like close to nature. We've got trees, we've got birds, we've got maybe a river or lake, like water, like just somewhere in nature. So that's where I am all the time, which is so amazing. It's kind of a minimalistic lifestyle as well. So yeah. I can't carry with me all that stuff. I can only carry with me like exactly the things that I need. So in the end of the day, I think there is no better way than traveling in general, whether it's with a backpack or even with a van, where you learn to appreciate the little things so much. Like as I said, when coming into a house, like, wow, walls and a roof, fuck, that's so fancy. Or like just having a wardrobe full of clothes. You don't have that here. So people that are doing this, or like traveling in general just with a backpack, they're the people in the end that are learning to appreciate every little thing that most people just take for granted, that like are part of their everyday life. But as soon as it's gone and you realize you can live without all these big and fancy things, like your life is just going to turn into the most blissful thing ever, because you're just grateful and happy for every little thing that happens that other people don't see. So every single day you're happy because of these little things. You don't need big things. You don't need huge things to be super happy, which is like it's just such a bliss, you know, like.
No, I get you. I mean, I live in a house now, but like there were times when I was just living out of a backpack, and I like sometimes I was just asleep at the beach, like, and then it's like you just, as you said, like you just start like focusing on the little things and what is really important in life, like, you know, the relationships that are important, like what's your purpose, like who am I, you know, like you start focusing on all those things. At least that was my experience. I'm pretty sure you are going through a huge process right now.
Yeah, it's a huge mindset process. I don't think I've developed my mindset within a month so much as I have in this past month. It's crazy.
I believe so. And like every time I check your stories on Instagram, it's like you wake up and you just open your door and then you're in this beautiful forest. And then the other day you were like with some ducks and a lagoon, and actually like when you were doing that, asking those questions on your stories, it was just like, where do you go to the bathroom? Like I was just worried about all those things, like how does she shower? How does she go to the bathroom? Like I have so many questions. You don't have to answer them in here. I but I was just like, okay. But cool. I don't know. That's something that since I'm not living that right now, I will worry. Like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But anyways.
Yeah, that's funny. That's really funny because that's the things of that I don't think about anymore. So I loved all of those questions being asked. And I was laughing out loud when I was looking at my phone and you were asking, where do you go to the bathroom? I was laughing because it is really, really funny. I don't think about it anymore. And I don't think about that people are asking themselves, like, where does she like go to do her business? Like there's no toilet. So I've stopped like considering that. So that was really good to have that question being asked in the story and to realize what people are like, what actually is going on in people's minds, which is why I'm happy to share. Like I'm happy to keep sharing it in my stories, and I think I might do that again actually, to tell people, ask me something, I want to answer something, I want to know what you're thinking, and I want to get the answers to you.
Yeah. No, and I know I saw that besides me you got many other questions. So I mean, it's not common for someone to say, oh, I live in a van. I mean, I tried to do that once and then it's like I didn't do it, which I regret. I might get to do it at some point, because it's like all the people that were around me at the moment were like, no, you're crazy, why are you doing that? Until the point that they, you know, there was a point that where they stopped me from doing it, and I was like, okay, but it was my fault for letting that happen, you know. So I think it's you're super brave because you're doing this, and also like you are like doing this on your own as a woman in a different continent. So it's like, that's why when you send me that message, I was like, I want to talk to her. And
Sweet. Yeah, you know, like to that thing, that's so sad. I really hope that you can still do it in the future, or if that's still something that you want to do. But that's something that I always try to deliver to people, this message of what other people are thinking of it. It doesn't matter what other people, like if other people are scared of it, then they shouldn't be able to transfer this this feeling of being scared onto you. Like that's, it's just not okay. It's just not okay. Like because in the end you're losing this huge experience, and what are they winning? Like nothing. Everything that they did is they made you lose something, which is not okay. Like everyone should just be doing whatever they want to be doing, regardless what other people are thinking, regardless if it's like, because it's their limit. Like it's them being afraid of it, and it's them not being able to do it, and it's them having this opinion on it. But what you think in the end, that is what counts. Like what everyone thinks about themselves and what themselves can do. That is what counts, and that's what I'm always trying to say. Like just take all these opinions, just take all of these people that are telling you that you can't do it, or that you shouldn't do it, or that that are telling you all these obstacles and problems that are going to be brought into your way, just take all of that, throw it out the window, close the window, never open it up again, and just do it. Just do it, because in the end of the day, you're going to regret not having done this, and you'll be thinking, why didn't I? Like, because of them, they didn't win anything. Like, they didn't get anything from it. You just lost something from it. So it just doesn't make sense to live on other people's terms. Like, everyone should be living on their own terms. So if I want to live in a van by myself, and some people are scared and they're like, oh, this is scary, like how are you surviving? And if some family members be like, you should really take care of yourself, I like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, hell yeah. I don't care about any of the opinions. Just do it, because you're going to regret if you don't do it in the end, and that's what counts.
No, that's a great mindset, right? That seriously, just do it. Don't be afraid. As you said, you regret what you don't do at the end. So
you always only regret the things that you haven't done. And also, one of my favorite quotes is, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
You're right. Yeah.
I love that quote, because it's so true. So whether, like, if they tell you you can't, and then you also think you can't, then you won't be able to. But if they tell you you can't, but you stand your ground and you say, I can, like, because they can't, it doesn't mean that I can't, I can. And if you say you can, you just do it, you can.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess it also comes with, taking ownership and responsibility of your life, like, it's my life, I do what I want, and and I'm going to achieve what I'm going to achieve without listening to the opinions of others. And I mean, it's great. Now, I'm like, okay, since we're getting into this kind of topics, like, what have been, and it can be, I know you've been living in the van for months, so it can be also related to travel, but what have been some changes that you have seen in your mindset since you started traveling? Or maybe if you want to make it specifically about the van life, because I'm pretty sure you're going through a lot of transformation over there.
a lot. Okay, so one of the biggest mindset changes that I have had is probably it's probably being scared of things that seem scary but they're not. So for example, one day I was sitting in the front of my van. I had just finished taking a shower and I didn't know where to sleep yet, which is fine, because in the end of the day, I would always find somewhere to sleep. Like, I'm not gonna die, whether I'm going to be like in a park or in the next forest or just somewhere in a parking lot. I'm going to sleep somewhere. And even if I wouldn't sleep that night, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Anyways, I was sitting in my van, and there was this guy, I would guess he must have been in his 50s. He would knock on my window, and I would look at him, and he's holding up a bag, and he is like, I've got some free food for you. Do you want it? And I open the door, and I'm like, what? Like, what's this? And he's like opening the bag and showing me all of the food that is inside. Like, we've got too much, and you look like a traveler. Like, do you want this bag?
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, so generous. This is so nice. Which is not scary. Some people they commented, oh, I would have been so scared. Like, no, it's just humans. People are good. Like, that's what I realized. Most people, not all, not 100%, but most people are good. And also, that is a mindset thing. If you're thinking that people are good, you're going to attract good people. If you are being good, you're going to attract good people. So anyways, I gratefully accepted this bag of food, and then we would be chatting, and he had a companion, and this companion was from Japan, super sweet guy. He showed me on the map where there's a camp nearby in the forest, and he was like, yeah, if you want to, you can come to this camp. Like, we've got a campfire and everything. And a lot of people would be like, that's so scary. Like, two guys are inviting you to the camp. And I'm like, yeah, that's so cool. That's so amazing. That's so generous. Yeah. Like, perspective. It's not scary. It's freaking nice. So 2 hours later, I would be driving into this forest. It was pitch black. I couldn't see anything. I would like cross a little bridge, and all I could see was like the trees on the side of the path. and you know what, the flashlights of my car would be brightening up. So I would be driving really, really super slowly, and I could see a campfire on the right hand side, and I would be stopping and opening my door, and he would be like, come, dinner's ready. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm driving out there, and they've got prepared dinner. They've got 3 cans of Coke, 2 for like 1 each, and then 1 for myself. And it's not like, if you just like put trust into people, put trust into yourself, and stop being scared of things, you're not gonna attract scary things. Like, if you're a good person, if you're thinking about good people, that's what you're gonna attract. So that was like the most generous people that I ever met. We would be sitting there, we'd be talking about life at the campfire, eating the dinner that they had prepared, like so generous. So this again just showed me, it had showed me this all through my travels, but especially in this van life, because because I'm here like by myself, and I experienced this with the 2 guys just recently.
Wow.
So that's been such a mindset shift again, that the world is not scary. The world is not scary. People are not scary. People are good, and it all depends on your mind. So another thing that I've been into is manifestation and law of attraction, which comes back to this as well, right?
Yeah.
If you're thinking positively, if you're not scared, if you're thinking good and you think about good people and you're not scared, that's what you're going to be attracting. Whereas if you're having scary thoughts and you'll be always thinking the worst case scenario, the worst case scenario is going to happen. So this shift, like, I've been listening to podcasts and reading books about it. I had experienced it before, that positive attracts positive, but I hadn't got into it like in detail and with a scientific background, which I have done now since I'm living in this van through books and podcasts. So to answer your question, my biggest mindset shift is that whatever you set your mind to, whatever you're thinking about, whatever, like the positive thoughts that are going through me and whatever I've got on my mind, that's what I'm attracting. So just literally not being scared and thinking good is going to attract good things.
Oh my God, so many nuggets over there. I mean, you share so many amazing things. And I'm also into the law of attraction and the power of your mind and all that. And it's like, I mean, I'm not living in a van in the middle of the forest right now, which will be like amazing for my mindset. But it's like I do like so many different things to protect my mind from the negative. It's like, I don't watch news. Like, I try to avoid negative people, because I mean, as soon as you let some negative into your mind and then you start having your thoughts, that's what you start attracting. So
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the choice is up to everyone. Like, it's each individual's choice what they surround themselves with and what they're thinking about. I actually had a conversation with a guy yesterday. It's funny because I met him at the laundry. We would just start chatting again. Happy people attract happy people. So we would just start chatting. We would like connect on Instagram, and then he would visit me here at the campfire. I had no fear. I had not the slightest feeling of him being dangerous in any way at all. So I would show him where my camp is, and he would come and have a visit. And anyways, we were talking about this exact thing. And what he was asking is, if I have some negative thoughts, then how can I change this? Because I catch myself doing this sometimes. And I'm like, that's exactly the point. The very first step is just be aware that you have negative thoughts on your mind. Like, just know it, because a lot of people are thinking, I'm happy. I'm always looking at the best case scenario, but they're not, because in the next second they'd be like, but this could happen, and what if this happens, and that might be a problem. That's not the best case scenario. Like, you're lying to yourself. So just realizing that all these negative thoughts are in your mind, or that you're surrounding yourself with negative people, or watching the news, or like reading the newspapers, which is all negative. Being aware of this is the very first step, and then they can eliminate. And I think traveling in general is helping everyone in this sense, because while traveling, you're being so excited all the time. You're like on a really high level. You're on adrenaline. Like, random things make you happy, and that's what you keep attracting. And then you keep learning that the more you do of what you love, the more you're going to attract of this. So traveling has been the best teacher in the universe. And I don't think there is any better way, not even books, not even podcasts, then traveling to experience this, to eliminate negativity, to become aware, to have this mindset shift and keep it for like the rest of life, forever.
No, definitely, because it's like when you travel is action, and it's like you're taking action right away, because it's like, yeah, you can read about all these many things in the books, like, oh yeah, action cures fear or whatever. Oh, you got to get out of your comfort zone, which is a big like quote that I always uh, see. But it's like, I mean, I can read it, I can listen to it on a podcast, but when you're traveling, it's like just the fact that getting out of your home, booking that flight, going to the airplane, it's like going to the airport, sorry, getting on the airplane, it's like you are already getting out of your comfort zone, you are getting into the unknown, and like you never know what's going to happen. No, like your days are different all the time. It's like you are growing, like you're growing as a person every time you travel. So
Exactly 100%. Like awareness. People that are traveling, they become aware, and their mind is expanding more than anyone's mind could ever expand.
yeah,
For
no,
sure.
definitely, that's amazing. So we have like 5 minutes left, 5 minutes left from the interview. Is there anything you would like to add?
That I would like to add, yeah, probably something that's really related to a conversation that I had with this guy as well, is that a lot of people, they keep asking me, or they kept asking me, and they still keep asking me, like, aren't you worried? Are you worried about your future? Aren't you worried that you have black holes in your CV? Like, aren't you worried that you can't get a job in the future? And all the time, I'm like, no, I'm not worried. Like, not even the slightest. Just you saying this, just you asking this is like worrying me more than the fact that I'm traveling could ever worry me. So something that everyone should know, and that everyone should, yeah, just like realize, is that there is no reason to worry when you travel. Like, you're not missing out on anything, you're not wasting time. The only thing is that when you don't travel, when you don't do this, and you just have this like straight career path until you're like, I don't know, 60 or 65, which is when you're like retiring, and you'll be like, then I'll travel the world and have fun. No, you
Then you
can't. Well, you can, but not in the same way as you can when you're young, when you've got energy, when you can move your body. So what I'm always trying to say is, if you're growing old, and when you're laying in your bed, and when you can't move anymore, and when your last days are about to come, you're not going to think back of the old days that you were sitting in the office. You just won't do that. You won't tell your grandkids about this magnificent day at work. Like, what you want to be telling is the stories of your travels, of the experiences
yeah,
of crazy people that you've met, of all these things that gave you goosebumps, of all these like situations where you were so excited, or which were like where you felt you were in danger, or where you solved this problem that you never thought you could solve, where you were like partying until long into the night with people from all over the world. So if you're old and you think back, then you're only going to regret all the things that you have never done. That's what you're going to regret. You'll never regret the things that you did. And that's what they keep saying. I'm actually about to go into like a nursery home with old people to ask them about their regrets. But from what I've heard so far is that they always regret the things that they did not do. And it doesn't matter, because you don't waste time, you don't waste money while traveling, you only win. You win stories, you win experience, you win happiness, joy, and new doors are going to open that are going to help you more in the future than any university or any job could ever do. So that's just what I want to say.
no,
And I
no, that's
as
great.
many people as possible are going to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I know, I also believe that when you expose, I mean, when you expose yourself that way, and then you're, I mean, you're working on the law of attraction and manifestation, I'm pretty sure that something's gonna come up. And I know it's coming up for you. I know you have an online business, and I'm pretty sure that things are gonna be great.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah, now things have fallen into place anyways, because I didn't worry about it at any time. So that's another story, how this online business thing and all of that started. Like, I could talk another half an hour for how I tracked the online business and how I'm now making an income from my laptop. But things like that are going to happen. And if you think about that, if that's what you want to do, that's what's going to fall into place.
Okay, well, Annika, thank you so much, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have another interview at some point, because I mean, I myself, and I'm pretty sure that everyone listening just learned so much about, like, mindset, being brave, and just, putting yourself out there. And yeah, I mean, thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And thank you for the interview.